Today I want to talk to you about the Addi Express king size 46 pin machine. I'm going to talk about what it comes with inside its box, how to use it. The sooner you know how to use this machine, the sooner you can get started on your own projects like beanies or a blanket. So let's go ahead and get started in my review and demonstration of the Addi Express king size 46 pin circular knitting machine. Made in Germany. The box it comes in, you open it up, it's going to have your machine in it. It's going to have your manual here, which is real helpful to just know how to operate it. Parts it comes with a stopper, and you use that when you do paneling. And then it comes with extra needles, including the black needle, which is the first one. 2 clamps. I'll show you how to use that here in a second. All right, the next thing I'm going to show you is the machine itself. And right here you can see this is the handle where you crank. This says Addi Express on it. This part spins and it's wide, so when you turn it, it's going to go like that. It's going to have this piece right here. Down it says circular knitting. Up means plain knitting or flat panel. And then you have your right here the counter, and it's pretty easy, mechanical counter, not electrical, and you just turn it here to get back to 0, and there you can see it's on to 0 now, and it is pretty reliable. This is going to be your yarn holder. The yarn weaves through into here, into the tension holder here. Now it also has these removable feet. You simply unscrew them, and you're able to take off each individual foot if you wanted to easily store it. In fact, when it comes to you in the box, it's going to have the feet taken off, and so it's easier for storage. Makes it flatter. Okay, it's easy to screw back on. Now when you put it on a table and you want to clamp it down, you simply use your clamp, hook it around the foot here, and clamp it to the table by spinning on this little screw right here. Okay, that's how you clamp it to the table. And it's easier and better if you clamp it on opposite feet, meaning it's better to clamp it on these two together or these two together, because it provides better sturdy security to the table that you're using. And that's how I would clamp it. Now when you're using the machine, face it this way towards you, and you crank simply by turning it this way. Now you heard that louder click, and that's what happens when you get to your first pin. And you'll notice all these pins are white. Turn it to the side so you can see it. All these pins are white. When you get to the first pin, that's number 1, that's black. And there you can hear the click. Each pin is individually marked. They're hard to see, very, very difficult to see. And if you look at the first pin, I had it colored black. Let's spin it around so you can see what I'm talking about right here. See on the red part there, I've used a Sharpie pen, and I've simply drawn black on the top of it to mark where the start the pins are. And if you look real close, you can see there are numbers. See, 1, 2, 3, and then the last pin is number 46, and that's right here. So the last pin is the white one, and the first pin is the black one. And that says 46. It's really difficult to see and tell, and the black one will say 1 underneath it. That is the basics of your Addi Express king size 46 pin machine and everything it comes with. Now as far as accessories and things that I've bought to make knitting with my circular knitting machine a lot easier is I've bought this tensioner. And the way you use the tensioner is you simply put it into the yarn holder here, and then when you weave your yarn through, it'll go through 1, 2, or 3 levels of tensions right here. And this I can link in the description below, but it was really cheap. Found it on Amazon. The box is very unimpressive, but it didn't come with instructions, so I didn't know how to use it. But you basically just put it right here, and then you close your shuttle, and then the yarn is able to have a little more tension on it, which I prefer, because now your other hand can be free to do different things instead of having to hold it for tension the entire time. Clamps it to the table. The first thing you want to do is crank till you're between the last and the first pins. So as I mentioned, I pencil marked with the Sharpie the first pin. So you'll go ahead and put your waste yarn in the middle there, or your yarn. You'll go ahead and start casting on by slowly cranking and putting the yarn from the inside to the outside of each needle in there. And you're going to do every other needle as inside and outside until you get to the end of your project here, until you get to the end of the machine. Okay, it's slow going at first. Once you get used to it, it'll be pretty fast, but you just want to make sure that your yarn goes inside, outside, and it should end to the outside of the very last white pin. Now you're going to feed it through the shuttlecock here. So if you don't have a yarn tensioner, you're just solely using the tensioner that's included in the machine. You're just going to stick it right through there and then close the yarn holder. Now you want to go ahead and reset your counter to 0. So it's on 4, 6, 7, 0. Now what you'll want to do is go ahead and start cranking around, go around slowly until you've made a full rotation. And there's that full rotation, because now you've just passed the black and your counter has now a number 1 on it, on your counter. So just keep going around, and that's how you started your machine. That's how you cast on to your circular knitting machine. There's row 2, row 3. And see how I have to hold the yarn with my left hand to keep an even tension on it. Now, if you have a tensioner, it actually helps a lot, and now your other hand can be free with the tensioner. It's practical, and it's totally worth, I don't know, the few bucks it costs to buy a tensioner to go onto your machine. I'll show you how that works right now. Here's the tensioner. So it has 3 heads here. The middle one fits perfectly inside of your Addi machine. You can switch it whichever side you prefer. I prefer this side. Now, so you see the teardrop here? You're going to go ahead and weave your yarn in to the top, close your shuttlecock all the way, and choose whichever tension is going to work best for you. Start cranking and feel out how it is for you, and to see if that's going to work for the tension that you're going to require for your yarn. It may require you to put it on this one or on this one. It just really depends on the type of yarn and how loose or tight that yarn is. So when you're done with your project, you're going to take it out of the tensioner, out of the yarn holder, and you're going to place in the middle between your white and black pin, which is your last pin and your first pin. And depending on if you're going to use scrap yarn or if you're going to go ahead and close this like a beanie, there's 2 different ways that you would cast off. And I have a different video that I'll link in the description below on how you would cast on and cast off on the machine. That's the basics of how you use the Addi Express King Size. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if so, and this was valuable to you, please subscribe or like the video. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much.